Free. 7 days a week. Then add to make that pull game. Jesus fucking the ass was.
Oh, so fuckers, welcome to Call of the Game. It's boy Shane here. Thank you. Thank you. Kind of a little change of scenery today, just in the mood. Sorry, I had to run my beautiful voice real quick, but yeah, welcome to Call of the Game. It's your boy Shane here. You know how it goes. Listen, we got a lot going on right now. I'll do my 2021 redrafts, which I was supposed to do last episode, but I had to cut that out for time reasons. The NFL trade deadline is on Tuesday, so we gotta talk about some guys that could be getting moved, that should be getting moved, and where they'll end up. Dude, fucking Kevin Byard is a Philadelphia Eagle now. Oh my God. We fleeced the Titans yet again. What was it? Terrell Edmonds, I believe, I can't think off the top of my head. What was it? A fifth and a sixth round pick? Yeah, I gotta double check. Yeah. Terrell Edmonds and a fifth and a sixth. Boom. Yeah, called it. But dude, that just helps our secondary so much. Him and fucking Blankenship when he gets back, well, watch out. I'll also talk about the college playoff rankings where I think it should be, where I think actually no, yeah, well it's gonna be what I think it will be as of right now. And my Heisman pick because I think it's time for that. Well, first couple nights in the NBA, I got to talk about, of course. We got to talk about the Sixers game from last night, and also Harden, my guy, dude. You fucking skip practice for 2 weeks straight, and you pull up the day before with your bags packed, ready to go. Nah, buddy, that's not how this works. Nah. And then he got fucking rejected on the plane. Good. Sorry. I mean, I hope he ends up suiting up, but like, I mean, we almost won last night without him. Just saying. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Also, got to recap the last couple weeks in college football and NFL. NBA All-Star format just changed too last night. It goes back to West versus East. We have normal 4-minute quarters. I believe normal scoring too. I like that. I like that. I hate the fucking captain's bullshit, especially since LeBron would have a clear better team every year. Also, I mean, I think there might be a target score still, which I wouldn't mind. Gotta talk about the Michigan scandal too. Fuck them. And our picks for NBA tonight and this weekend for NFL. I really got nothing for college football because I'm not really feeling the slate. I think we're gonna start with the redrafts for today because we just cut that out last week. It was supposed to be, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, pretty much. Oh my God, why is my hair like so shitty right now? Yeah, that was supposed to be at the end of last episode, but we had to cut that out for time reasons, so it's only right we start off with that. Yeah, it's fine like that. Okay, one, I got the Jaguars taking Trevor Lawrence here. I mean, this is really, it's a no-brainer if you really think about it. At two, I got the Jets. You say this is a questionable pick despite with how he's doing this year, but I think they still go QB here. Just a different guy in Justin Fields. Listen, before this draft, they were the top two guys. I'm losing my train of thought, but they're the top two guys going into this class, and that's just how it is in the redraft. I got the 49ers. They don't go QB this time around. I got this guy might be the best player in the class right now, you could argue, in like a Parsons. Dude, I hate that he's a Cowboy. He's a fucking monster, bro. He's doing so good this year. I forget how many sacks he has, but everyone's favorite real life Dad Castle. And just imagine him on the 49ers too. Him and Nick Bosa would fucking destroy everybody. That's like, wow. Okay. All right, four. I got the Falcons going with a different weapon in Jamar Chase. He's a fucking stud. I like Kyle Pitts, but Jamar Chase is a clear upgrade. That's for sure. At five, I got the Bengals. They just missed out on Jamar. I got them going with the O lineman and Rashawn Slate. Yeah, Rashawn Slater from the Chargers. Arguably the best O lineman in this class right now. But yeah, at 6, I got the Dolphins sticking with their guy and Jalen Waddle. They didn't have Tyreek at the time. They could use a receiver. He's so fucking good, Jalen Waddle. He hasn't really done as much this year, I feel like, but nah, he's definitely easily, dude. I'm spitting fucking bullshit right now. But yeah. At 7, I got the Lions sticking with their pick and Penny Sewell. You might say this is a questionable pick. I was thinking Christian Darrisaw here for a while, but I don't know. I feel like they like him up there, and he's looked really good this year. At 8, I got the Panthers. Actually, I might as well do these back to back at 8 and 9 because I got these swapped. Actually, we got the Pat Surtain at 8 and JC Horn at 9. Come on. Pat Surtain was always the best corner in this class, but JC Horn was really good last year. He's looked solid this year as well, but he's had a really good. He's been one of the bright spots of the Panthers this year. Very few, to be honest, but same with Pat Surtain. I feel bad for both of them because both their teams fucking suck. 10, we got the Cowboys going with, since Micah Parsons is way off the board by now, I got them going with a tight end here, actually, in Kyle Pitts. They were kind of hard. I was thinking Devontae Smith here for a while, but they didn't pick CeeDee Lamb. Why the fuck would they take Devontae Smith? And I feel like Dalton Schultz didn't really break out yet at this time, so Kyle Pitts would be the perfect weapon here for Dak. At 11, I got the Giants pre-draft night trades. That's how I do my mock drafts for those who don't know. At 11, I got the Giants here taking, unfortunately, Devontae Smith, who he I haven't touched this since I did him like 2 weeks ago, but he hasn't looked as good the past couple weeks as he has earlier in the year because freaking AJ Brown always gets open, but Bama product, he's a fucking different breed. The Giants need weapons, bro. Like their weapons are trash outside of Darren Waller. Just saying. At 12, I got the Eagles. We just missed out on Devontae Smith. We were going Amon-Ra St. Brown here. What was he originally? What? I think it was the 4th round, I want to say. Dude, he's a fucking monster. Him and Jared Goff have been this dynamic duo this year. I forget, was he a Pro Bowler? I don't know. I forget if he was a Pro Bowler last year, but he definitely could be this year. Hold up. So unprofessional. Yeah, he made the Pro Bowl last year. That's right. 13, I got the Chargers who just missed out on Rashawn Slater. So Christian Darrisaw. Dude, this class is nuts. Sorry, I'm fucking spitting bullshit again. This class has been producing fucking monsters so far. A bunch of studs here. Like I had a harder time with this one. This one was easier than the NBA one, that's for sure. Yeah, Christian Darrisaw has been one of the bright spots for Vikings this year, even though they've kind of turned it around the past couple weeks. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Speaking of them, actually, it's funny I just said at 14, I got the Vikings going with a corner here and Greg Newsome second. He's been one of the bright spots of the Browns secondary, which has been really good this year outside of last week. 15, I got the Pats going with a safety who was originally a 5th round pick, I believe. Was all pro last year in Talanoa Hufanga. He was a monster for the 49ers the past couple of years. At 16, I got the Cardinals going with a guy who I think has been hurt, but he's been one of the bright spots on the Jets O-line, and Elijah Vera Tucker. At 17, I got the Raiders going with a different alignment to save them from fucking shitty Alex Leatherwood and Creed Humphrey, originally a 3rd round pick. At 18, I got the Dolphins going with a guy who I forget. No, he was a 2nd round pick originally, I think. Javon Holland, safety. At 19, I got the Commanders going with the guy who was phenomenal in the playoffs last year in Nick Bolton. At 20, this is kind of a bold pick, I'm not going to lie, but they did go QB here. At 20, I got the Bears going with the guy who was traded in the offseason in Trey Lance. Kind of a project here, that's for sure. At 21, I got the Colts going with a different edge rusher in Jalen Phillips. At 22, I got the Titans going with a corner in Tyson Campbell from a division rival. At 23, I got the Jets going with, one of my favorite linemen in Landon Dickerson, number 69 too. At 24, I got the Steelers going with a different running back here in Travis Etienne. At 25, I got the Jaguars going with, they just missed out on Tyson Campbell. They just missed out on Etienne. I got them going with a different corner, Asante Samuel Jr. At 26, I got the Browns going with a D lineman in Greg Rousseau. I got the Ravens go with the guy who the Browns took in the second round, Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah. At 28, I got the Saints going with the tight end who hasn't looked as good this year in Pat Freiermuth, who just got put in the IR, unfortunately. At 29, I got the Packers going with D lineman and Kwity Paye. 30, I got the Bills going with edge rusher in Odafe Owe. At 31, I got the Ravens going with a receiver, kind of a project, in Kadarius Toney. And at 32, I got the Buccaneers going with a linebacker in Jamin Davis. All right, now for my NBA redraft. This one was a little harder, not gonna lie, but yeah, I'm just being straight up. I'm trying not to make this week's episode as long as the last one. That's all I'm gonna say. At 1, I got the Pistons sticking with their guy who went off the other night and Cade Cunningham. At 2, I got the Rockets going with a different guy actually who I think right now is the best player in the class, but that could easily change after this year, Evan Mobley. I got the big audio warning. Ooh, sure. No, they were originally gonna take him and then I think it was what, like 2 weeks before the draft, they were like, nah, we'll go Jalen Green because they think he's the better player in the class. He was at the time. Right now, that's not the case, but that could change after this year. At 3, I got the Cavs going with a different guy. We had a different top 3 this time around, actually, in Franz Wagner, who very few bright spots for the Magic the past 2 years. I think he averaged like what, 18 a game last year. Point in the season, looked like the best player for the Magic at times. At 4, I got the Raptors going with the guy who was originally the second pick, our first faller here, and Jalen Green. He's good, don't get me wrong. He's just been a little inconsistent the first couple years, but he's going to break out this year. Just watch. At 5, I got the Magic going with the rookie of the year, actually, who I don't know why some of you guys think he's on the spectrum. I just don't see it in Scotty Barnes, who yeah, he's so good on defense. All right, at 6, I got the Magic, or fuck, not the Magic, sorry. I got the Thunder sticking with their guy who I thought was a reach at the time, but now that isn't the case in Josh Giddey. He's a fucking beauty. That's all I gotta say. At 7, I got the Warriors going with a big, which is their biggest need in Alperen Sengun, who had a really good second year last year, and I think is only getting better with age. And I thought he was a steal at 8. I got the Magic again, going with a guy who had a really good year last year, Trey Murphy the third, UVA product. He's a really good shooter. He can slam the ball too. Then he was in the dunk contest last year. And he almost won too, I think. At 9, I got the Kings going with another Pelican here in Herbert Jones. Easily the best defender in this class right now, especially on the perimeter. A very pivotal part Pelicans defense, which isn't very good, but it's not because of him. At 10, I got the Pelicans going with a guy who could easily bump up after this year, an undrafted guy in Austin Rivers. I think right now he's overrated as fuck. I think nobody would know who he is if he wasn't on the Lakers, and I stand by that. Plus, yeah, I mean, even if he has like the worst year ever, he's still gonna get mad votes for the All-Star game. But I think he's gonna be really good this year. At 11, I got the Hornets going with a guy who No, he was a late first originally. Nick here and Quentin Grimes. At 12, I got the Spurs going with a guy who if he was on a different team, he'd probably be averaging at least like 20 a game, Jonathan Kuminga. At 13, I got the Pacers going with someone who was traded at the deadline last year and is going to get better in Bones Highland. 14, I got the Warriors going with a guy who needs to get more minutes in Cam Thomas. At 15, I got the Wizards going with another undrafted guy, very good defender in Jose Alvarado, Rising Stars game MVP last year. 16, I got the Thunder going with a guy who was originally a top 5 pick in Jalen Suggs. 17, I got the Grizzlies going with a shooter who's going to have an increased role this year in Corey Kispert. At 18, I got the Thunder going with a big in Isaiah Jackson. At 19, I got the Knicks going with originally a second round pick in Ayo Dosunmu. At 20, I got the Hawks going with an underrated wing from the Thunder in Aaron Wiggins. At 21, I got the Knicks going with just got waived a couple weeks ago. I don't know where he is now, but he was during the offseason, and I think he's underrated as fuck. And Josh Christopher, give him minutes. He's going to be nice with it. Just saying. At 22, I got the Lakers going with someone who wasn't as good last year as he was his rookie season, but I still think he's solid, and Davion Mitchell. At 23, I got the Rockets going with someone who's only going to get better, and Santi Aldama. At 24, I got a guy who had a good rookie year, didn't play as well last year, Chris Duarte. At 25, I got the Clippers going with someone who got cut and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. 26, I got the Nuggets going with, you might think this is a little low in Zaire Williams. 27, I got the Nets going with a guard who needs to be more consistent in Trey Mann. I got 28, I got the Sixers going with a guy who was originally a lottery pick, and he'd average at least like 10 a game if he had more minutes, and Moses Moody. At 29, I got the Suns going with the guy who I think was a top 5 recruit, if I'm not mistaken, definitely top 10 recruit, and ended up being a late first round pick because he quit on his team in Jalen Johnson. And at 30, I got the Jazz going with a very underrated Bing who won the second round in Jericho Sims. Oh, we gotta talk about this Michigan scandal real quick, bro. So we got this dude Connor Stallions, who I think until you say his name, works on the Yo, Stallions. It sounds like a fucking horse, bro. Now, he bought, what was it, 30 games over the last 3 years. Basically, did the same shit the Astros did. Used some kind of technology to steal signs. Apparently, TCU had some knowledge about this because they were warned heading into the bowl game last year, but it didn't even matter because TCU fucking whooped their asses. Well, actually, no, I think that was close, but now I'm so glad TCU won that game. I was rooting for them so hard. Nah, fucking BS, bro. And they're good as fuck this year. I hope they don't see a bowl game. Of course. I think they just fuck themselves. They're not making the playoff. I hope not. I hope they don't see a bowl game. They should get the fucking death penalty, whatever that fucking means in sports. But yeah, fuck that shit. Alright, yo, we gotta talk about the last couple of weeks, college football and NFL, of course. The Oregon-Washington game, bro. I can't fucking talk today for shit. That game was beautiful. Bo Nix and Michael Penix just went back and forth, and fucking Oregon sold by going for it on fourth down. Fucking Michael Penix had a nice nuker, like, what was it, 30 seconds later to win the game with 2.5 minutes left. Michael Penix, he's a dog. Absolute beauty. USC Notre Dame game, bro. I fade Notre Dame after taking them twice. And Notre Dame fucking smokes USC. USC frauds. I saw fucking Emmanuel Acho, I think that's how you say his last name. He said, oh, they should sit Caleb Williams since he's guaranteed to go number 1 and they're not making the playoffs. He's not getting the Heisman. Bro, are you dumb? Like, respectfully, are you dumb? Like, why the fuck are you sitting Heisman candidate? Actually, well, I guess he's not really a candidate anymore, but hey, sitting him could hurt his draft stock, but I guess him getting injured kind of can. I don't know. I mean, he's been the consensus number 1 pick for a while, but Hey, things could change. That's for sure. You Miami UNC, UNC was a fucking lock. Nah. Speaking of you Miami, they fucking Clemson blew it, bro. I think Dabo, they might be cutting ties soon. Clemson fucking blew it against them, but UNC, Drake May's a fucking beauty. We like to fade you Miami here. As, every time we fade you Miami, it works out. Just saying. I mean, I would have taken Clemson, but I didn't really feel like it. UCLA, Oregon State. I don't really. That was a good game too, as well. I didn't really watch it because it was late. Dude, I thought they were gonna do it. I thought Penn State was finally gonna beat them for the first time in like almost 10 years. Nah, Drew Al. It's Aller, not Alar. I thought it was Alar for a while. Drew Aller kind of disappointed me. He even took accountability, which is good. Kyle McCord didn't really play any better either. It's I don't know. Those two teams, both their defenses are unreal. Ohio State, that defense is different this year. Marvin Harrison is a dog. Bama, Tennessee, dude, fucking Tennessee blew it. I think they were up at least 2 touchdowns at halftime, and then fucking, I think they scored like at least or Bama scored at least 3 touchdowns unanswered. And then fucking speaking of UNC, they got upset by UVA. Oh, come on now. And then FSU bullied Duke without Riley Leonard. I thought that was going to be a closer game, but apparently not. Oh my God. Utah, speaking of USC, Utah has their number, bro. And James Strauss, even though he fell off, he went fucking crazy, yo. Crazy. In the fucking NFL world, things are interesting. Dude, Josh Allen, I mean, he looked good last night. I'm starting to believe this. He plays just as good as who he's against. He didn't play too well against the Giants 2 weeks ago. Pats, I mean, he was kind of, I think his shoulder was kind of banged up a little bit, but he looked all right against the Pats. I mean, he looked good last night outside the pick, but even then, it wasn't really his fault. I'm not going to lie. I kind of prioritized Sixers Bucks over Thursday Night Football last night, as I should, because, come on, dude. Fucking, I gotta watch fucking Damon Giannis fucking bully my team. What else went down? Oh yeah, fucking, I'm pissed. Eagles fucking beat the Jets fucking beat the Eagles, bro. Hurts threw 3 picks. They didn't have Sauce or DJ Reed either, which is fucking, oh, dude. Luckily we won against the Dolphins, but we got bailed out a few times. He did not deserve to win that game. And the Dolphins, they're a good fucking team. They just can't beat good teams, which is gonna cost them later in the season. Dude, I saw this fake Twitter account for Mike McDaniel. I thought it was actually him for a second. He put a thread of all the missed calls, not the coach, of course, the parody account. Dude, the Lions, oh my God, they got raped by the Ravens. Like, Lamar literally took that defense and fucking spanked them. Oh my God, bro. Like, I'm telling you, if the Ravens get one of these guys on the trade block, they're a fucking contender. And we're going to talk about them in a little bit. Jameson Williams has looked good since he got back from suspension. Dude, Devontae Adams, I feel bad for him, bro. The Raiders are fucking poverty. Josh McDaniels is a horrible head coach. Jacoby Myers is getting the ball a lot more than he is. Clearly wants out, but they don't want to trade him. It's a mess in Vegas right now. That's all I gotta say. Pats, Mac Jones, he sucks. We all know that. Dude, Tyson Badger. That's how you say his name. He was like, he fucking beat the Raiders last week. Fucking Devontae Foreman. I'm pissed. Of course I had to go against him. He had fucking 3 touchdowns. I lost because of that. Fuck. Anyway, but bro was like, if I was in the NFL, I'd probably just be getting fucking ripped and coaching gym, being a gym teacher. Dude, what else happened? Oh my God, I'm looking at my phone again. Well, literally, like I'm looking at this fucking link. Yeah. The Texans beat the Saints. Commanders beat the Falcons. Dude, Washington, oh my God. That game last week at Washington Giants was pathetic. Giants were up 14-0 after the first quarter, and then the Commanders only scored 7 points. They both look pathetic on offense. The Giants just were slightly better. That's how they won. Bengals beat the Dolphins were down by a lot against the Panthers, and then fucking Tua and Tyreek go nuts. End up winning by 3 touchdowns. These rookies went off with this top guys out. Jay Jetta and DK been out. Jackson Smith and Jigba and Jordan Addison, the two best receivers in the class, went off. Beautiful sights to see. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, next we gotta talk trade deadline. Why? Because we have to. No. We gotta talk NBA first before we talk trade deadline. I'm sorry. I have to. Nuggets didn't miss a beat. Fucking Jokic bullied the Lakers. They made a fucking rule against load management, and the Suns fucking sit out Bradley Beal the first game of the season. Fucking Frank Vogel, what are you doing, buddy? Devin Booker was a different breed the other night. He dropped 32 in the Warriors, right? 6 rebounds, 8 assists, shot 13 for 21 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3. Curry had a good game as well. Speaking of the Warriors, dude, why are they not extending Clay? I hope he walks. Come to the Sixers, bro. That'd be sick. Probably wouldn't happen. Wednesday night was very interesting. My brother was like, what props you liking? Chet over 14.5 points. He said he took it at 13.5. That barely hit. I think he finished with 13. He finished with 11. Trae Young over 9.5 assists. 9. Anthony Edwards over 24.5 points. Had 26. Scoot Henderson over 14 points. Had 11. Keegan Murray over 13.5 points. That hit. Saddiq Bey over 12.5 points. That hit as well. I was thinking, dude, Cade Cunningham points over. He had a 30-piece. The Mavericks Spurs game, I ended up watching the fucking Luka had a nice triple-double against the Spurs. Victor Wemby. I noticed I was cut off for a minute, but Wemby, solid debut for a number 1 overall pick despite the hype. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block, shot 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. Chet had a solid debut. Fucking Donovan Mitchell hit a game-winning 3 as well. Max Strus had a solid debut for the Cavs at 27 points. Bruce Brown was the leading scorer for the Pacers. I thought that was going to be an overpay. Like Jalen Brunson at the time, that could pay off. And I didn't think Jalen Brunson was an overpay. Probably my Nova bias, but yeah. Alright, my mic was bugging for a minute. But, let's talk about the game last night real quick. Dude, Maxey's a fucking dog. He had 31 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals as well. Field goal percentage could have been better. Shot 10 for 22, 3 for 8 from 3. Embiid at 24. He didn't look as good in the first half, but he had a really good second half. 24, 7, and 6. Assists, 6 assists. I'm surprised. But he shot 9 for 21 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3. Didn't do as well from the 3-throw line as usual, though. Dude, Tobias Harris, he couldn't miss either. He had 20 points, 7 rebounds, 8 for 9 from the field, 3 threes. Didn't miss from 3, just saying. And then, dude, fucking Kelly Oubre. He is a fucking beauty. No, he's not even a beauty. He's a beautiful man. He is made for Philly. He had 27 points off the bench. He couldn't miss. He carried our bench. Him and P-Ball Paul carried the bench. Giannis had a good night too, but wasn't even Giannis. Dame time in Milwaukee the last 3 minutes. I think he finished with 39 points. I think he had at least 15 points the last 3 minutes. He shot 9 for 20 from the field. The 3-point percent, 4 for 12 from three. That definitely could have been better, but Dame time. There's going to be a lot of Dame time in Milwaukee this year, unfortunately. If you're a fan of the East, listen, I'm standing by what I said. Listen, I don't care if it's after one game. I think they're going to win it all this year. Giannis is hungry for another title after getting bounced in the first round. Dame is hungry for a win. Just saying. Katie and AD had a nice little duel last night. Katie carried the Suns without Beal and Booker. Just saying. All right. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go with this first since I think this will be quicker. College football playoff ranking. This is what I think is gonna go down. We're halfway through the college football season, basically. Here's what I think is gonna go down, and who I think is gonna win the Heisman. At one, I thought this team was kind of overrated at first, but their defense is unreal, and their QB can. He's not playing as well as QBs from their school, but yeah, give me Ohio State. There's going to be a Big Ten team in the playoff. There always is. The other Big Ten team that should be in this ranking won't be, and I'll explain why. At two, I got a team that I didn't expect. I don't think anyone expected to be this high at this point in Florida State. Jordan Travis has been a fucking dog. Very good weapons as well. That defense has looked very good. Yeah, definitely an unusual team to see here. But yeah, Jordan Travis has been a Heisman candidate as well. At three is Washington. Dogs. Dogs all around. Michael Penix Jr. Beauty. Four, I got Oklahoma here, who I bet against in the Red River game with confidence, but they proved otherwise. Dylan Gabriel is also a Heisman candidate. Their defense is unreal as well. And I got Georgia barely missing the cut because they're the number one team right now, but I don't know how they're number one team. They've barely won against some dog shit teams, and they got a very rough schedule coming up. And I think they're just gonna miss out. And Michigan, I hope I can't put Michigan in playoff ranking after that bullshit. There's no way they should get a playoff spot this year. So the NFL trade deadline is Tuesday, Halloween. Let's talk about where some of these guys are gonna end up. Let's start with the Bronco. Jerry Judy. I think he's going to stay in AFC, and he's going to end up in the Colts, or the team that's linked the most to him. They got Michael Pittman. They got Josh Downs, who's had a solid rookie year, but Michael Pittman's a free agent, and they didn't give him an extension, so he could end up walking, but who knows what's going to happen with him. There's a lot more AFC teams in the running for him, it seems like, and yeah, let's go about his other teammate, Cortland Sutton, who this certain team I have him going to. They said they want to get a wide receiver one. They're going to get one. He's going to the Panthers, and Gary Judy could end up in the Panthers, but I think the Panthers are definitely going to go for one of these guys. That's for sure. Derrick Henry. Let's talk about him real quick. I I said that earlier, if the Ravens get somebody, they're a contender. Honestly, similar to the 49ers getting Christian McCaffrey. He makes them a Super Bowl contender. That's all I gotta say. Mike Evans is another guy who he's a free agent at this offseason, and I think they're gonna hold on to him and try and work something out in the offseason. Same with Devin White, who requested a trade and then took it back. He's gonna stick around. A couple Cardinals, Hollywood Brown. I think he's gonna stick around because him and Kyler Murray are boys. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. Buda Baker, I think he's gonna stick around for now, but there's a chance he gets traded this offseason if they stay ass. Chase Young, him or Montez Sweat's gonna get traded. I think he's more likely, and I feel like he's gonna end up on the Jaguars. They're definitely gonna make a move for somebody. And I don't know. I feel like they got to go for a young edge rusher like Chase Young. Speaking of young edge rushers, Brian Burns. Where do I have him going? The Rams. Why? I have the Rams. They're buyers here. I got them going him or a Bronco and Justin Simmons. They're gonna get one of those guys. Maybe both. We'll see. All right. Hunter Renfro. I think he's going to the Big Apple. Which team? The Jets. Yeah, no, they traded Nico Harmon. They're definitely gonna try and go after one of these guys that are on the trade block who definitely, I don't know, these receivers, Jared, the two Broncos guys, Hunter Renfro, they could definitely make a bigger impact on a different team, especially Hunter Renfro, who's got Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers fighting for the ball a lot more. Even Michael Mayer gets the ball more than he does. I don't know. I feel like one of these big Apple teams is gonna snag him, or even any receiver at that point. Daniil Hunter, oh, he's leading the league in sacks right now. I think he's going to stick around. People think there's people out there that think he's going to get traded. I think the Vikings are going to keep him and try and go for a playoff run. Ryan Tannehill, who's going to be a free agent this offseason, I think he's going to stick around as well. He could get benched at some point in favor of Will Levis or Malik Willis so they can tank, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. One last Bronco, Garrett Bowles. I think he's going to go to the Browns, who need some O-line help to try and push for a playoff spot. I got two Jets. Dalvin Cook, he's going to go. They're going to trade him to go play with his brother in Buffalo. I had him going to the Buccaneers at first, but I don't know. I feel like the Bills makes more sense. I guess, might say, oh, why would they trade him the division rival? I don't know. Why not? And then the Niners, I got them going, getting Carl Lawson. Yeah, that's what I think's about to go down. All right. Before we wrap up today's episode, let's talk about my picks for NBA, what I'm taking tonight. But I got picks and props in the NFL this weekend. I'm not really liking the college football lines, but I got props too as well. So NBA, here's what I'm taking. Let's go over the Pistons Hornets game, which I cooked up the same game parlay in that game, which I'll show you after. Give me the over at 226. They're both not very good on defense, especially the Hornets. It's going to be a very high scoring game on offense. I think Cade Cunningham is going to drop another, I don't know about drop another 30 piece, but he's going to go off again. Give me his over 22.5 points. He dropped a 30 piece against the Heat tonight, or Wednesday night. I think his points over is only going to go up as the season progresses, especially coming off injury. He looked pretty good first game back after playing only 12 games last season. I don't know. I did not expect him to drop a 30 piece. I thought the Heat were going to lock him down, but sucked. And then looking at the Knicks-Hawks game, give me Knicks money line. I just think they're the better team, and the Heat Celtics favored by too much. Give me Heat +8. Yeah, the Heat got guys out tonight, but come on, the Celtics barely won against the Knicks the other night. The Celtics are fully healthy too. There's just no way. Jimmy Butler is not letting them not cover. That's just not happening. That's for sure. Some NFL picks real quick. Looking at a team I've been rocking with all season, Jaguars, Steelers. Give me the Jaguars money line. Come on. Quit sleeping on them. They're nice as hell. And especially if they become buyers here at the deadline. Watch out, dude. I mean, the Steelers have looked good as well to start the year, but it's going to be back and forth, but the Jaguars are going to fucking do better here. It's funny. You know what's funny? I'm going another team who has the exact same odds. Falcons. Oh, the Titans. The Falcons over the Titans, who the Titans are about to trade everyone and because they're fucking dog shit. Dog water. Absolute dog water. And then I got a divisional matchup who I'm looking at. And Vikings Packers, we're going to ride with old momentum. Give me the Vikings here. Who, listen, I don't think they're not going to fucking catch the Lions. I think it's the Lions division to lose, but the Vikings could definitely snag a wild card. I could see it. But I'll have my mid-season predictions on TikTok sometime next week. I got one prop, and it's just a little parlay. The Bengals-Niners, Jamar and CMC, anytime touchdown. They're both going to score. It's at +210. And I'm going to whip out the same game parlay I took tonight real quick before we end today's episode. The over, I got it at 225.5. You could definitely lean. Listen, this is a lean. This is an official pick, but I like Pistons +4. I took the money line to improve the odds. I mean,
listen, the Pistons are the better team. I mean, Bogdanovich out definitely hurts, but no, come on now. They're better coach too. LaMelo 8+ assists. Yeah, I like LaMelo. I like LaMelo over 7.5 assists tonight too. Cade Cunningham over 21.5 points. Cade Cunningham over 6.5 assists, and Terry Rozier over 1.5 threes made. Yeah, that's all the time we have for today. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm gonna have some sports Jeopardy matchup for you guys soon. I'm hitting up people, seeing who's down for it. I'm gonna make a whole tournament out of this. We shall see. But yeah,